Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Of course, today at 8 o'clock, BioWare published a video, 20 minutes of the gameplay. You're seeing it right now if you're a YouTube watcher. You and I, Andy, did a reaction to this. This is up on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Us watching it. Me for the first time. You, not for the first time, but kinda. You hadn't seen this version of the presentation. You had seen a different presentation, 45 minutes behind closed doors.
Correct.
So, as the world is now abuzz with Dragon Age.
Buzzing.
Mike, I ask you, did you watch this presentation? Has it caught you? Are you interested? Where are you at with Dragon Age: The Veilguard?
I did watch this presentation early this morning, and it caught me off guard. I wasn't quite sure
Veilguard?
if I was going to dig.
Get over here,
Get them
bro.
together.
Shit,
The
man.
Veilguard.
Summer Games. Oh my God! No, he tried kissing.
You know, I think when we got that initial
I almost accepted it.
trailer over with Xbox, and a lot of people commented on the theme and kind of the presentation of a little more goofy fun and putting a band of bandits together instead of, I think, what we were coming hot off of, which was Dragon Age Inquisition, that tone kind of being a little more serious. It was, you know, about romancing sexy people
I better
and
be
being
fucking
more at
people in
war.
this. It's a BioWare game. I'm fucking in
Oh
this game.
yeah.
Better be. But I'll tell you what, this 20 minutes got me. I like the style. I like the presentation. I like what I saw here. And I loved the combat. I think the combat looked really, really flashy and awesome. And so this 20 minutes won me over more than I expected.
Andy, as we talked about on the thing, but to recap so you don't have to watch everything we ever put out, I never connected with Dragon Age before. Tried them all before, and it's just not my world. I'm not the fantasy RPG kind of guy, blah, 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 blah. This demo is so exactly what I want. What I said when we did it yesterday, right, is like, I think I said it as a joke, but I mean it. It gives me those vibes of Kingdom of Amalur Reckoning, which I loved so much, which was a fun, stylized RPG to get into and go quest in. And it seems like the combat is definitely that, but there's going to be that BioWare story layered on top, which gets me so excited as a Mass Effect fan. But Andy, you saw 45 minutes. Are we wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. I've never walked into a presentation more worried.
Yeah.
After all the years of what I said on the what did I use on the little gameplay preview that we watched, the little reaction? Years of blank tumult. I used the word tumult.
Good. It's a good use.
A lot of tumulsion over there.
Okay.
A lot of years of just like, what is going on with this video game? Anthem was supposed to be the next big thing. It completely flopped. How is BioWare going to pivot? Oh, they're really going to put their eggs back into the single player basket, go back to what they really love and care about. I loved how Greg put it during our reactions to the Xbox conference when he said, there's a lot of people at BioWare that right now that grew up loving BioWare games and wanted to work and make a BioWare game.
Yeah.
And I walked in that presentation very, very worried and just scared because I love Dragon Age. I was always a bigger Mass Effect fan, but Dragon Age was always my fantasy RPG. That's why I never really got into the Elder Scrolls series because I was young, I was poor, and I didn't have a whole lot of time for gaming, so it was always the BioWare RPGs.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by this presentation. It was far and away my game of the show, and I saw a lot of cool shit at Summer Game
what
Fest.
a fucking year it was for Summer Game
And
Fest.
this was my game of the show. I think visually it was just immediately stunning. The coolest thing, though, I will say, was watching them go through the character creator. It was me sitting next to... It was a one-on-one little presentation. It was me with a bunch of like BioWare and EA people behind me, but sitting next to John Epler, who's the creative director, who worked on Inquisition. I forgot exactly what his role was on Inquisition, but he is now the creative director for Dragon Age: The Veilguard. And open up the character creator. First off, you start off kind of picking all your backstory, right? What sort of character are you going to be? Who is going to be? What role are you going to play? How are these cutscenes going to reference? Oh, well, it's similar to like when you play Mass Effect 1 for the first time, and he's like, Shepard, he comes from a whatever family, he's been through it all or whatever. Very, very similar vibes there.
Can I interject here?
Go ahead.
Because there is a question that I have the answer to, but I'm not sure if they showed you.
No.
Admiral Redbeard, of course, like you can, super chats, and says, do we know if choices from previous Dragon Age games will carry over?
Oh, wow.
Did they show you this?
No, but I saw Ash Paris tweeting about how you will get to create and edit your Inquisitor?
So, IGN.com's Alex Stedman says you will be able to import choices, but it's a little bit different. Yes, you will be able to carry over your decisions from previous Dragon Age games into Veilguard. It just will work a little differently this time. In an interview with IGN, Dragon Age The Veilguard game director Corinne Bush says the ability to import your choices is, quote, fully integrated into the character creator this time around, end quote. What's more, Bush confirmed that you'll be able to customize your Inquisitor if you want to remake your protagonist from Dragon Age Inquisition. Quote, what's not lost on us is that it's been 10 years since existing players have played. They might not remember what they did in previous games. They might need that refresher, and we don't want new players to feel like they're missing out on those decisions. So in the character creator, I like to call it Last Time on Dragon Age, you can go into your past adventures, and it actually, through tarot cards, tells you what the context was and what decision you want to make. When pressed further about if the previous characters would be woven into Veilguard, like Hawke, Bush says, quote, I won't say everybody, but yes, some of them. What it sounds like is that BioWare may be abandoning Dragon Age Keep, which would allow you to export your world state from previous Dragon Age games into Inquisition through your save files.
That's how I remember.
When
you would log onto a website, Mike,
Wow.
and type in like what you did in Dragon Age Origins to then transfer to Inquisition.
Interesting.
When asked if the Veilguard would read saves from Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, or Dragon Age Inquisition, Bush confirmed that it wouldn't. Quote, the technology is so different, and we wanted to be in the client, she says.
All that makes sense.
Does it make you mad as a Dragon Age player?
No, not at all. I mean, I understand that technology is just sometimes limiting. Like that's kind of a wild ass to think that all of your save data from whatever consoles you were on. That's not surprising to me at all. I think enough time has gone by. Maybe if Inquisition came out 4 years ago on the same console cycle, I could totally understand that. But no,
as a new player, right? I think they're doing it really smart of the tarot cards and this, and make me feel like I have a hand in, even though I didn't play those games all the way through.
I think that's fantastic. But what I also just loved about the character creator was the amount of depth there. Like this is looking to be like one of the best character creators out there. Up there with Dragon's Dogma and Baldur's Gate. Like there's so many cool options and little menus and sliders. Like there's everything you could ever want. And one of the coolest thing that I really love is body shape editing as well.
I love the shape of your body.
Yeah, you're not picking from like either a couple pre-made things. There is a triangle up on the screen, and it's muscular up top, light skinny frame on the far right, thicker frame on the far left, and you move that slider according to however you want your character to look. And all of the armor is, of course, going to completely mold and change shape exactly to however you are dressed or whatever. I'm so stoked about that. But one of the first things they showed, and I got to assume that some of the people at BioWare have seen and heard all of the issues with Black Heron Gaming, and I'm sure they saw Blessing Show episode of Black Heron Gaming, and were like, we really, really wanted to nail this. So check out all these cool-ass hairstyles of all sorts of sizes and shapes. I'm so stoked to get into the character creator. One of the most important things, though, is that somebody that a lot of Inquisition fans will remember is that when you created your character, you had one of those, like, your character was in an odd sort of looking light. It was very green kind of filtered. And the amount of times that you'd hop into the game and go, oh, fuck, I don't like the way that looks.
I remember this.
And that was like something that everybody remembers. So in this character creator, similar to in Dragon's Dogma 2, you will have 5 different lighting and, color kind of palettes that you...
Love it. See what it looks like in different spots.
Rotate the light, all of that sort of stuff. And I'm super, super jazzed about that. I think more importantly, like watching this game, I was like, I knew going into it that this was not going to be Dragon Age Inquisition, where Inquisition was, I feel, much more tactical than any of the BioWare games that I had played prior. And I'm not a PC gamer. I was not a PC gamer back then. So my BioWare lineage started with Mass Effect 1, right?
Yeah.
And so I wasn't used to all of the CRPG, Baldur's Gate stuff that had been done prior to that. But I know that in Inquisition, I was pausing the time all the time. I'd go control... homie over here, you walk over there. Cassandra, shoot a bolt here. And it felt a lot more like you are taking control of this battlefield.
Yeah.
I knew that wasn't coming back, whether it was through certain rumors or whatever, but I remember seeing that one leak that, oh, it's like God of War. They're trying to make like their version of God of War combat. And when I had heard that leak, I was kind of bummed out. And then some video leaked of it as well. And I was like, I don't want God of War combat in my Dragon Age. Hopefully they can nail it. Hopefully it's good. I expected like over the shoulder 3D sort of melee combat focus type stuff. And then once we got in there and saw that the camera angle and the FOV and everything looks very, very similar to other Dragon Age games I've played.
Yeah.
And it's dealing more with sort of like Mass Effect's 2 approach to combat, where you can completely stop the combat at any moment and you can bring up all of your abilities and tell Varric to, hey, Varric, shoot that bolt thing that's going to shoot a bunch of poison, and then I'll shoot my attack after that.
Sure. This thing right
Harding,
here.
how about you do your ability right here on those guys? And then you can continue the combat and then see it all play out and then be a lot more tactical with it. And I am so stoked that that is still a pillar of this.
For sure.
I don't fully understand a lot of the worries that like, wow, they've just gone completely action RPG, because this is kind of what Dragon Age Origins reminds me of too. Like, I went back to, I was like, am I crazy? And I went back to like a Dragon Age Origins combat, and like, you're very much there, just like you're doing melee combat, and you are, you know, telling your squad mates to do stuff as well. So I don't fully understand the issues there. I played Origins on Xbox. Like, it was a console game, and I wasn't, you know, hitting all the skill bars up top to do my powers.
Sure.
It was, you know, so I don't fully understand the issues there, but I hope that this is enough for you, because it's certainly enough for me. Like, I was so blown away by this presentation, the look of it, the tone of it. When I saw that Dragon Age has always had a very humorous tone to it. Like, I don't, but when that first trailer dropped, sure, it may have been too like MCU-ish for people of, we're building the team. I got stoked just because I love building a team, Greg.
Love it.
I love getting the squad together. I love
Mass Effect 2. Let's go.
I love the Inception style. Let's go get Tom Hardy in this area, and he's going to be our guy or whatever. Like, all that stuff just really, really gets me super jazzed up. But like, if you play Dragon Age Inquisition or Dragon Age Origins, and I Redbox 2 a couple times, Greg. I didn't ever like fully play through 2.
Yeah.
But I'd go to the local Redbox and like rent it a couple times. Like, there's always good humor. There's always good writing, whether it's insanely, you know, sad and, you know, introspective, or you can get a little humorous and pick the sarcastic route with your responses. And I love being that protagonist in these games, you know. I thought it just hit every mark that I needed it to hit.
Love that.
Game of the show.
Love
like,
that.
My God, I could not.
Wow.
When you talked about your JW Marriott sort of conversations with people, walking up to everybody and going, dude, Star Wars, bro. Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars.
Yeah.
I was like seeking out everybody that I could and be like, you seen Dragon Age? Like, the amount of people that can watch this and respond to me like, oh, yeah, Andy walked up to everybody I could do Dragon Age. Holy shit, Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Blown away by this game. I'm so excited for it. And I have so much more hope and faith now that this is going to deliver and be really big. It looks so
good.
fucking impressive. Like, I know the 4K video looks great. Watching it in action, being played next to me when I played, or I wasn't playing, but it was creative director John Epler playing, and he was asking me what little dialogue decisions I wanted to make. Hey, should so-and-so go with you? Should Neve go with you? Or should Harding go with you? What do you want to choose? Unfortunately, I picked a couple of choices in the trailer, but the one thing that I got to watch was not the rogue gameplay where you are more of like a fast dasher. I saw the warrior gameplay with the sword and shield.
Yeah.
A lot of parrying, kicking enemies off of the map, because you ended up getting a power that's like a dive bomb kick, you know?
Yeah, like a giant drop kick.
And so there would be these like shades kind of fighting you, and you could just kick them off the map, launch them off. It was so cool. I had such a great time watching it and walked out just beaming, man. I was so excited about this.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. This year is going by so quickly. I'm literally getting married this month, so I know all about that. When life goes so fast, it's important to take a moment to celebrate your wins and make adjustments to the rest of your year. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months. Therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really stick. Some of my best friends use BetterHelp and love how helpful it can be for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, and it isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit betterhelp.com/kindafunny today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/kindafunny.
I'm so shocked to have watched that demo with you and be like, or the trailer, I guess, too, but then this demo and be like, I can't wait. Like, I woke up, we reacted yesterday and embargoed it for this morning, but I woke up this morning like, damn, I wish I had this right now. Like, that's a good sign for any game you're talking about. Obviously, there's a lot of questions in the world right now, Andy, and a lot of them have been super chatted, just like you should to be part of the show. Onimus Prime super chats and says, Andy, call your shot now. Will Dragon Age the Veilguard be a contender? And will people at the end of the year be saying, quote, BioWare is back, all goodwill restored?
Based on what I saw from those 45 minutes, which was basically what you all saw without the skips in between, you know, like the trailer that they showed would pop up and be like, you keep on adventuring, and Solus is up there still doing, like, you know, wild shit.
He's up there breaking.
I saw all of the in-between parts. Yes, this is going to be a contender for me.
That's what I want to hear. And that's what I think, too. Again, not having touched it but seen it just the same way you have. I'm like, this looks fucking
I want to build relationships with these Veilguard characters.
Yeah.
I want to know what sort of traumatic shit they've been through. I want to meet that one asshole that I hated first, and then eventually he warms up to me
because like, I fucking love this guy.
This guy's actually kind of sick. You know what I mean?
Yep, 100%.
Can't not freaking wait.
Coming off of that conversation, though, a contender. Sachin, 72767, super chats and says, is the bar too high post Baldur's Gate 3?
No, because I think this is just going for something completely different.
Yeah.
And I know that, I mean, it may be for other people. Like, I think I'm just a bit more of a realist when it comes to what is possible budgetary-wise and just game development-wise, that I know that Larian did everything and anything possible to make it the most complex decision conversation tree that you've ever experienced in a game.
Yep.
And I guess I just, it sounds like I'm letting BioWare off the hook, but it would go for any other developer. I'd kind of expect that from only Larian in that moment. Like, I don't, you know, when we talk about Larian working on that for 7 years or whatever, and I know this has been development for a long time, but it doesn't seem like they started it 7 years ago. It seems like it's been a lot of like restarts here and there. No, but again, when we talk about it, I think if they were going for, if they were targeting that sort of experience with a lot of these insanely deep conversation trees, I think that's the stuff that blows me away about Baldur's Gate 3 the most.
Yeah.
Is just your characters remembering what you mentioned to that one dude 40 hours ago in your gameplay. Like, I don't really expect a whole lot of games to do that just because that shit's really, really tough, and Larian pulled that off, and I don't really see a whole lot of other people trying to go for that.
Someone in the public chat said, I'm not sure I see the comparison here, right? What I want to do is answer that, comment on that, and bring in another question, because when we had done the reaction to the Xbox presentation, that's where it was, or was it SGF? Xbox. I mentioned in there that, like, wow, that trailer looks great, and I'm kind of starving, or maybe I was like thirsting for a new BioWare game. It's been so long. And the chat at that point popped off being, Greg, you had Baldur's Gate 3 last year. So then I want to bring it in the fact of, like, do I think that, you know, it's all changed, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a problem that there? No, because this is the kind of RPG I want, where I could never do the CRPG nature of Baldur's Gate 3. I loved the story and all the permutations, and that was amazing. Seeing this gameplay makes me so excited. But Dova Beats super chats and says, Dragon Age 1 CRPG, Dragon Age 2 action RPG. Yeah, actually RPG. I can barely speak for some reason. Inquisition, a perfect blend of the two. Veilguard, back to action RPG, and can't control your party members. Can't help but feel this combat is a step back.
Oh,
possible that you think that. I disagree. Like, it all depends on what you're wanting and expecting. But again, going back to the Dragon Age 1 CRPG stuff, I played that on Xbox. It didn't feel like a CRPG to me. Like, I was still playing it like a lot of different I'm controlling my dude. I'm hitting my button. They're swinging. It kind of looks like an MMO, and just because PC players had a hot bar at the bottom, didn't make it feel like CRPG-ish to me.
This is so my shit that it's such a crazy one because, again, the fantasy stuff of like a Skyrim. I played, 50 hours of Skyrim or whatever. Never finished it. Never felt the need. Even Witcher, 50 hours, 35 hours or whatever it was. Never felt the need to finish it. Like, this looks like a world I want to be in because of the BioWare relationships, because of what I'm seeing visually and how stunning this looks and how good it looks. And then the fact that combat looks awesome. That's the biggest thing. Where it's like to be in there, and because I'm definitely going to run this rogue class, to be in there, be tearing it up, like, fuck yeah, give me a whole bunch of that.
Just give me all the cool opportunities with super neat abilities and like wild looking particle effects. Again, when we played Mass Effect 1, like I keep on saying that this is like a blend of Mass Effect 2 and Dragon, like fantasy Mass Effect 2, but I mean, replaying Mass Effect 1, it's super similar. You pause the gameplay, you tell Garrus to go use that ability, and hey, Rex, use this shotgun, whatever, like that's still strategy enough to me to feel like some of that DNA is still there.
Yeah, and for me, really quick, on the combat, it is interesting, right? Because I liked Dragon Age Inquisition, where I could switch to different party members and essentially play as them, right? Because I felt like I'd make a character class and be like, I didn't like that one. Well, thankfully I can jump over there. So you're telling me I can't jump in between different party members? Okay.
You can't, no.
Okay, all right.
I don't need it.
Yeah, I like the choice there. It's interesting just coming off of Inquisition, but that's so long ago.
Coming off of it.
Yeah, I just appreciate that, like, oh man, I made an archer, and then 20 hours in, I was like, I'm thankful I can jump in between people. It'll be cool to see honing in on one person only. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I never really even switched to a whole lot of different characters anyway. That was never my
playstyle.
I liked directing people to tell them what to do, and then I would go in and I had my dual. I was a rogue pretty much like this, with the double daggers, doing the dash back and dash into combat and everything like that. I think this is like the perfect blend of all those things that I've been wanting. I'm just glad that it's back and it's not you are only controlling your dude without any of the squad mate input. Like, I was really worried that it was just going to be over the shoulder, third person, God of War style combat based on those early leaks from year and a half, 2 years ago now. I'm kind of blanking on when that was. I'm so glad that there's still that idea of I want my character to have this one big AoE attack so that I can combo that and couple that with another thing that I do, as opposed to just, I'm Kratos, but in Dragon Age running around close combat.
Can't wait for more on this. Again, you're not alone. Eurogamer's headline is Whisper It, but Dragon Age the Veilguard has me thinking the unthinkable. It looks like BioWare's back. Yeah. And then from whoever they were talking to at BioWare, because I have not done my required reading on the entire article, the quote is, quote, lesson was, get back to what you do well.
Final one. Any multiplayer? I'm one of the small few that liked Mass Effect and Dragon Age multiplayer. I enjoyed
the Dragon Age multiplayer. Did they say anything? No, there was no mentions of any of that. I think they really just want to focus on getting
dead
this
and gone. Yeah,
right.
That's gone.
I got a question for you from the super chat. Admiral Redbeard has a comment, of course. I love when games changed the combat, especially when it's been so long. It feels fresh and new. But then the question is, Dragon Age Origins stream, Mike.
Ooh.
I had some people asking for that too, Mike, and I was like, that sounds like the impossible to get Mike or Nick to sit down for a Dragon Age Origins. It's just like really dated,
But what if you tell Nick to dress like a wizard?
Maybe.
That would do it, right?
I always look at those
He
as
loves spending
maybe
money.
it could be a fun one-off where we just jump in for a day and celebrate Dragon Age and, leading up to the big new release of it. Maybe we could look back on the history and stuff. Yeah, it's tough, right? How could we all really sit there for a grand adventure like that? I don't know. We'll give you a maybe. We'll look into it.
That's a maybe, Adam.
Maybe.